The LA Chargers making some Jim Harbaugh-esque moves. If you're new to the channel, this channel is all about the LA Chargers. We're Detroit Lions fans, but we live here in Michigan. We're big Harbaugh fans, so we have followed him out to LA. So you get an unbiased look into the LA Chargers. Plus, we just know a lot about Jim Harbaugh and love to see how he's going to turn this thing around. So let's take a look. We talked about Gus Edwards being a signing. Now there's a tight end that the Chargers found for really reasonable money. We're going to look at how this guy is like a little hidden gem, could be, for the tight end position, and can't wait to see what happens here. So the Chargers added to the earlier signing of Gus Edwards. We talked about that in an earlier video. It's just kind of perfect. Gus Edwards, I mean, veteran, solid running back, goes for 700-800 yards every season. It's like, let's go. So, right. So you add to that and you bring in this run blocking tight end and Will Dissly, but we'll get to how he's actually a great pass catching tight end too. So he's been six seasons with the Seattle Seahawks, really good, solid player. And here's the beauty of it. You basically give him a 2-year, $5 million a year contract. Thank you. Like, that's nothing, especially as the cap's gone up. It's manageable. It's perfect. Another thing is he was released. So before all this started, before free agency, so it doesn't count against any sort of compensatory stuff. And that's, remember, Joe Ortiz really likes that. So no harm there. So you get a really inexpensive tight end that spent most of his career with Seattle, done a lot of good things, and now he comes here to the Chargers. Greg Roman and Jim Harbaugh have shown their affection for utilizing tight ends to gain an advantage in the running game. So this signing seems to be another step in the direction of providing a ground game that can bring actual balance to a Justin Herbert-led offense. That is the key right there. What you're going to see this year, going into the season, you're going to have just balance. You're going to play the game right. You're going to be good on defense. You're not going to give up big chunk plays on defense. You're going to be ball control, sound fundamentally, like all the things that football is. That's what Jim Harbaugh is so good at. And people always talk about how teams are physical and all that. That's true, but they're so fundamentally sound. You got a tight end that can run block, do all the things he's supposed to do, but then he can also catch the ball. And let's take a look at that. So 2018, he only caught 8 balls, but 19 and on, he's catching double-digit balls. And again, these are not big numbers. He's basically catching 2 balls a game. But if you catch 2 passes a game, then you're not scoring any touchdowns. But not this guy. He scores about once out of every like 12 catches is a touchdown. And so 1 out of 10 is a touchdown. And so, and he catches 10 yards. I mean, like, his averages are good. So he's not a dink and dunk guy. He's a guy that, man, when he's used, catches the ball for touchdowns, and he goes long. I mean, I remember when they played the Lions, dude was killing us. And you're like, who is this guy? So the Seattle Seahawks don't predominantly use tight ends a lot. He was usually a second tight end, and Jim Harbaugh is going to use him a lot. Look at Michigan and what they did. They had a tight end and then they had a motion guy constantly. And that motion guy was not a wide receiver, but instead was a tight end, because you can use that tight end to gain an advantage with a running start to go block. He would run, go around edge. He would run, trap the defensive end. He would run and he would trap like the defensive tackle, right? So Jim Harbaugh loves to use 2 tight ends because one tight end's on the line, the other one's in motion. So as the Chargers continue to build out this team, a blocking tight end, I think, was just number one. Look at the first two signings, right? Running back and tight end. This team's going to be, so again, an unbiased look into the Chargers. The Chargers were spread you out. They look very Matthew Stafford, Detroit Lions 2014, like the era of Matthew Stafford, where it's just like, you know what, Stafford, you're really good. So whatever system, it just looks good because you're good. Justin Herbert, you're really good. But the constant, like, spread it out and just try to let Justin Herbert go be hero, it's so hard to do. It's not sustainable. Where this is going to be balanced. He's handing the ball off. It's 2nd and 4, play action, roll out, hit a guy. I mean, you're constantly going to be moving forward. Okay, fine. You punt. Well, then You pin them deep. Your defense is not giving up the huge chunk plays. Maybe they go all the way down and score. Fine, but you made them work for it. Eat clock. Now it's 7-7 midway through the second quarter. Now it's 10-7 at halftime, right? Instead of like it was 28-28 at halftime, and the Chargers are just, these games, all the Chargers games seem to be out of whack, would be the best. I mean, the Lions played the Chargers, and it's down to like whoever has the ball last. And like every game with the Chargers is like that. It's not played how football should be played. And that's what Jim Harbaugh does and is all about. Okay, let's take a look at another signing that was really good. Let's pull it up. Okay. The Chargers find a deal, $11 million over 2 years for Gilman. Now, if you, I didn't know Gilman, you guys do. Gilman was really became a fan favorite. They were saying because he was a 6th-round pick in 2020, got all the way to the starting spot, did some really good things. Now, here's what Jesse Minter is all about: is he's going to have to revamp the worst secondaries in the league last season. A lot of the failings were due to unnecessarily complex scheme by Brandon Staley. However, the lack of elite talent was on display, especially at corner. But the incoming regime have been afforded a fresh start and starters in Derwin James, Asante Samuel, and Gilman. Again, I don't mean to always bring up the Lions, but I will. Again, the Lions, same thing. They tried to be so complex. They just went to man defense and just played straight up. It's like, if you beat us, you beat us, but we're not going to get beat. We're just not going to get beat with gashing plays. And the Chargers, just think how much better they're going to be if they just don't give up all the big plays defensively. And so Jesse Minter is really good at saying, okay, we're going to just play fundamentally sound. We're going to teach this the right way, and we're not going to give up the big explosive plays. So the Chargers overnight, just by revamping, hey, your star, Derwin James. Hey, Derwin, play safety. Okay. And just be really good at that. And you're a really good safety. And that's what you're going to play. Instead, I mean, Derwin James is like walking around like at defensive end. I'm exaggerating, but you know what I'm saying? He's like, it's like, what is he doing? Why is he down? Why is he playing linebacker? Is he our middle linebacker? Like, just, you're a safety. You cover this guy, right? So what I love, and I think you'll see a lot of it, is Minter plays a lot of zone. He likes eyes on the quarterback. He likes team or his players being able to see what's going on in front of them. So you won't see a lot of guys like chasing around and playing a lot of man. It will be a lot of zone, but disguised well and covered well. So I love the signing of the tight end. I think that's a little sneaky one there, but I mean, it's Jim Harbaugh. He's just going to run the ball, block it well, be in the game, see what happens. So again, if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. Unbiased look into the Chargers, and we'll see all of you on the next one.